So, we're going to do a video about likes and dislikes in the Fiat 124 Spider Abarth. We'll probably be calling it different things as the video goes on.
There's so many names.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. 124 Abarth, Abarth 124 Spider, 124 this, that. So, this video in general, just to put it out there, because I know there are so many folks who, oh my god, you know, you bought the car, why do you hate on it? Why do you make these dislike videos, this and that? That's not the point of this video. It's just a video going over my personal likes and dislikes on the vehicle. It's gonna hopefully help other people who either are looking into purchasing it, and just to kind of start some conversation, some entertainment, this and that. And then obviously I have my girlfriend here, Bonnie, for the first time on the channel, and she's gonna give her input on likes and dislikes as well, from a, I guess, more of a non-enthusiast perspective, so to say. And I'll, you know, have mine. So we're probably gonna find a spot to record this. I might drive around a little bit in between, but we'll probably find a spot and just kind of record the main part of the video.
You didn't introduce me like my name.
I just did.
Oh, I didn't hear Bonnie.
This is my girlfriend Bonnie, and this is the first time on the video, and I literally said that. And then obviously I have my girlfriend here, Bonnie, for the first time on the channel. Alright, well, god damn it. Why are there kids at the school on a Sunday?
So yeah, I really don't know much about cars. I was never really into cars. I'm just like, you know, whatever can get me from point A to point B.
Rolling down the street in my big wheel.
But I've been with Pat for almost 6 years.
Oh, you crazy.
And, you know, I've actually learned a lot about cars. I mean, not a lot to like you guys probably, but just have more knowledge on things. But still definitely not on like good I don't know all the verbiage. I don't know the terminology probably, like when I say my likes and dislikes.
I got you to the point where you get excited kind of when I get car mods now, which is always a good thing when you can get your significant other, your girlfriend, to be happy when you're spending money on car mods.
Well,
that's good. So
I have to give it to him because him and I, we both have very expensive hobbies or interests. So he has his car stuff that he throws thousands of dollars to, and I have my tattoos that I'm addicted to. So, you know, I gotta let him have it, I guess.
Alright, let's find a spot.
I feel like we're in Antarctica here. We have like
this is crazy. I wish we could like
mountains.
I'm gonna literally just record real quick so I could change the camera view and show you guys like what is next to us
We're
right
at
now.
a high school parking
You wanna
lot.
just like here, hold that, and just like as I'm driving, just record and show them like this is crazy. Look at this. This is really really tall. Crazy.
Mountains of snow here. We're like, God, I can already tell. I'm gonna start saying like a lot.
Little baby mountains.
Oh yeah, up here's like crazy with the snow.
Yeah, this year's been kind of crazy, much crazier than I would have liked.
Yes, he got this car right before winter. You know, getting a nice convertible. You know, then we end up having the worst winter ever. But
Alright, we'll find a spot. You can turn that off.
alright.
We'll do this right here. This looks pretty empty. Alright, nice. We found the spot. Very nice.
Very nice.
Oh, this would be a nice spot to do donuts if it wasn't a school property zone.
Yeah,
I guess we'll just stay right here in the middle of nowhere. Alright, so we took some notes. So basically I had like my likes and dislikes, and I was gonna shoot the video myself and everything, and then I was gonna do one for her, and I asked her dislikes and likes on the car without telling her mine, and I kind of wrote them down. But then instead of me kind of reading them off, I figured let's do a live video where we can both give our input. So we do have some notes on our phones that we're going to be looking at, since we did have a likes and dislikes list that I made without her and she made without knowing mine. I guess we'll just dive into it, and I'll go off of
All right, am
my
I going
likes.
first?
I was going to say, I'll give my
I
likes.
think I should go first because
Knock
I'm
yourself out.
unprofessionally termaging.
What did you just say?
Termaging.
What?
Termaging. Verbaging. I'm unprofessionally verbaging stuff.
All right, knock
Probably.
yourself out. Go with the
All right.
likes
so,
first, and then I'll do likes, and then you do
I
dislikes,
think we should
and then
do
I do
dislikes
this.
first.
Okay, yeah, let's do dislikes
Dislikes.
first.
You
Yeah,
know,
go for it.
Save the best for last, I think.
Go for it. Let's do
All
it.
right, dislikes.
She's already controlling the channel, as you can see. 2 things I got shut down already.
First one. Okay, so it actually took me a while to like. He actually had to help me like figure out some dislikes because there's really not much. The main one, and I think this is really my only pure dislike, is just the interior space. It's just very tiny. I'm personally very tall. I'm 5'9". So along with me being tall or bringing my purse in the car,
Female stuff and bags
yeah,
and purses.
bags and whatnot, or we don't take this to go shopping. We take my car. But yeah, that's just the interior. We knew that though. We knew that going into this, getting the car.
Because you have a
small
hatchback, so it was kind of
Yeah.
like okay for me to get a nice little rear-wheel drive 2-seater convertible because it wasn't about the space for this car. It was about more the fun
Right.
and enjoyment factor and
Exactly.
everything.
So yeah, that goes along with my second one. It's just nowhere to put my stuff. So it's always, and then there's like, along with that, so this would go into number 2. On the left side, like when I'm sitting here, there's a big hump on the floor. So not only is it small, but then that's taking up more space.
Going
So
through the car.
of course, this is like nothing serious, and we knew this. He actually used to have an S2000, so
You
it's
were
very
familiar
similar.
with the
Yeah.
interior layout and the small space.
Yeah, so I cannot drive it. This would be number 3. Like I said, 6 years of dating. He loves cars. He loves stick cars.
Oh,
He
stick,
loves
manual stick.
not automatic. Okay, I'm just.
But the Golf R was an automatic. So I recently could teach you how to drive stick. I haven't yet, and I plan to. So there'll be videos in the future about that.
So
Maybe.
that is definitely yes. I'm gonna like push him to make a video on teaching me how to drive stick. Now he wants to rent a car for this.
Well, I don't know. We were gonna do it in this car. We'll see. I'll probably let you do it in this car. I was just messing around. We'll see.
And then okay, so I'll go into another interior thing. So like I said, there's barely anything on the outside that I don't like. I freaking love the outside of this car. But inside where we put our drinks, so there's 2 spots.
Oh, yeah, cup
we
holders,
keep
basically.
cup holders, yeah. We put them up here, which it's just awkward. I mean, I guess because there's such minimal space, they had to be creative. I mean, we have one now, but
you
it's
don't
just
like
very
it there
awkward. And then
because-
here, of course, that'd be invading more of my space. And then the last one, this would be number 5, and it's an outside one, but I really had to dig for it, like to find something. So the color of the car is black, which I love. Like that's actually one of my likes, is having this car specifically in black. However, I think that it would have been nicer to have like a flat black. Not
like a regular. This has like a sparkle to
there's
it.
a sheen, a sparkle. I would say a sheen, and like some lights you'll see like a greenish tint. Now
Yeah.
it's not horrible. I actually love the color green. I love like olive
But, like,
colors, but I know
on a
he
car
did.
that's meant to be black. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only like on direct sunlight in some photos it kind of comes up. In like
Yeah.
a cloudy setting, if you're taking
Very-
photos, it looks like a straight black.
Yeah,
But
very
if you're-
minimal. Like I
yeah.
said, I really had to dig deep to find five of them. 4 of them were interior, mainly space stuff, which we knew. Like,
Yeah.
so these are not serious dislikes. He might have some more,
Yeah, let's dive into that then. I'll go over my dislikes now, and then we'll go to your likes.
you might have some more like actual car stuff rather than just being a passenger in the car.
But that's why I think this video is really cool to kind of have it from like both perspectives, like a more enthusiast and then more of just like a non-car enthusiast. You know what I mean? Like I think that's good. So for me, starting off number 1, this one actually is gonna go both on. It's gonna be like and dislike, and I'll explain why.
Hold on, wait. Can we take off our seatbelt? Just realized.
Okay.
Oh, should we leave him on now?
You can take them off. Let's take them off. All right. So, as far as the dislikes for me, like I was saying, the sound. Okay, it's gonna be both like and dislike this section. The sound, I love the way this car sounds when you put an exhaust on it. When it's completely stock, if you don't have the record Monza exhaust, which I don't have on this car, and in the US I think they started doing it a little bit later, like I don't think in 2017 it was even an option. Over in other countries they do have it with record Monza. The exhaust sounds amazing when you modify it, you put on an aftermarket exhaust, or if you come with the record Monza. Mine did not. The stock US exhaust, it was just way too quiet for what this car is. So kind of a dislike on that. One of the more like noticeable ones that I really disliked were the wheels. The style is not terrible. What do you think of the factory wheels style-wise? I thought they're okay, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like or
If you
dislike.
asked me 5 years ago, I would have like not known the difference. But knowing and seeing how he's modified his cars, like, yes, they look a lot nicer now.
The stock ones are like
Personally,
kind of
from
chunky
a
and
yeah, they're
wide,
chunky,
you know what I mean?
but it wasn't a dislike for me, even if
Okay.
it was regular, just because
They look
you know,
okay.
from a non-car person, these are some things. I mean, wheels are one of the things that are most noticeable. So
But for
especially with
me-
his color now that he has and everything.
But for me, it was more not even the color, it was the weight of the wheels. That's where I was getting to. Basically, like, the factory Abarth wheels weigh 22 pounds, which are like ridiculously heavy on a car like this. And I went with the set of Ozzy Ultra Leggero, which are in a matte bronze, which look sweet on this car. I love
Not
it.
everything.
So, but these wheels weigh 16 pounds. So that's a huge weight savings. It's 6 pounds per wheel, 24 pounds total of unsprung weight, which if you haven't, I do have another video, I'll link it up here, that goes over how it affects acceleration. We know it affects handling and other things as well, but I was surprised on how much dropping, you know, to a lighter set of wheels actually impacted and affected the acceleration. So that's a big thing with the heavy wheels. Another more of like a annoying thing is, again, going off of the space, but there's no place to put my phone. Now, there is a little cubby right behind your shifter, basically, and they could have designed this a little bit better. I'm sure they could have done this, but if I put my phone there and I'm giving it some throttle in first, second gear, that phone just flies back. You've seen it. You're like digging for it as I'm driving, I'm trying to grab it. It's just not ideal, and there's really nowhere else to put it. If you have a small phone, maybe you can use a cup holder, but with like the freaking
You really
iPhone
can't.
Pro Maxes,
I mean,
like
it
they don't
frustrates
fit in
me.
there.
He just puts it there and it slides and it slides every time.
Like if they made it a little bit on a decline, it probably wouldn't have came up like that. So that's a big thing, not having storage space in general, but again, it comes with the nature of having a small two-seater convertible. So yeah, going off of the not storage, again, not having a lot of storage.
That's like all of our dislikes.
There's like areas that I can see where they could have possibly, like, they really could have done something better. So besides like trying to tilt it down, etc., they could have done something on like the door on the side here. They could put a pocket somewhere on the side. They could have put a pocket somewhere on the freaking, like, you know, where you rest your arm. I know when I had my, I think both in the Golf R and in the E92 M3, if I recall correctly, there was like a little compartment underneath the steering column where you could like slide something small in there. So like for a small car, it would have been nice if we could have like just had extra little compartments, which actually there's compartments behind the seats that no one knows it's there.
Where?
Behind these, both our seats, there's compartments.
Like if you lift the seat forward.
Yeah, there's like storage, which
Well,
it's like
how are you gonna use that when you're
exactly.
in the car?
It's not ideal, you know what I'm saying? But
If anything,
it's there.
this is.
Don't touch that.
No, that's no.
Just kidding. What am I gonna do?
You're trying to do this.
Oh.
That's trying to put my top up, which is already up. So yeah, with the storage, the other bigger thing is I wish it just came with a more potent engine, a little bit of a bigger engine. The car's tuned now, and you know this from driving it, like it feels pretty good now that it's tuned, you know what I mean? Like you feel the extra power. But when it was completely stock, it still felt okay, you know what I mean?
It was fun in the sense of, it reminded me a lot of, did you modify your S2000?
I didn't.
No,
I
so
put
like
an
it
intake,
reminded
but
me
was-
of that, just like in the aspect of the way it drives, like a little go-kart.
Yeah, like I had to really
It
like...
handles really nice, and I can tell as a passenger and not as a big car enthusiast, like
It handled like, the
really
power
nice.
delivery was different.
Hugs the street.
Exactly. But a bigger engine, I think, would have been real nice in this. You know, they went with the same engine as the 500 Abarth, the multi-air 1.4 liter, which is a great engine for what it is. So what are you doing, huh? I can't help it. I talk with my hands. It is what it is. And
I had to point that out at least once in the video.
Going back and watching this, I'm probably gonna be like, so the bigger engine.
You cannot.
It would have been nice. It would have been nicer with a bigger engine.
That's what she said.
Exactly.
Got it again.
Michael Scott, in the words of Michael Scott.
Best show ever. The Office.
So pissed they took it off Netflix. So, okay.
By the way, if you like The Office, check out Schitt's Creek.
That's another
Freaking amazing.
Show. Yeah.
Super addicted. I watched it 3 times since I started it a few months ago.
And let us know what shows are good. We're like literally, we've been binging so many shows.
Leave it in the comments.
We've been binging so many shows and we've been finishing it and we're having such a hard time finding another good show.
So we like both Schitt's Creek, The Office, like very like, you know,
comedy,
maybe
stupid comedy type of
stupid
things.
Comedy.
But then also the serious stuff.
Oh, we love like some BBC shows.
Like Marcella,
Orphan
Black.
Orphan Black, guys.
Yo, that's...
Watch Orphan Black. It is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I just love that show. We just finished it a few weeks ago. Killing Eve, another amazing show.
That's on what, Hulu? I think the other ones are on Netflix.
Hulu,
yeah. That's on Hulu.
And then we get Sneaky Pete.
Sneaky, that's on Amazon
and then
Prime.
What was the
like
other?
the system got us. We got all 3 of them. Cause
what was the other one? Oh well, In the Dark, You, of course, which are like the more...
the other con artist, the one we just saw, right? Not the one we're watching, the one we just finished.
No.
That was, I can't think. I don't know, we're getting off track though.
I know, but wait, what is the one?
We'll do another video about shows. Which one?
The main one, after Sneaky Pete. Oh my god.
We'll put it on screen.
Is it called a P? Oh wait, it starts with an I. Imposters!
Oh, Imposters! Yo, that is an
God.
amazing... It's a good balance of like comedy and like serious stuff going on at the same time.
Yeah.
Like that, Imposters.
But yeah,
on
we
Netflix.
like funny shows, but we like really like ripping, I would say like what, slow burn. So like The Sinner was amazing.
Yeah, The Sinner,
we just need suggestions,
Bloodlines,
guys.
Ozark. Yeah, drop it below. Maybe we'll do a whole video about, you know, a vlog.
Shows?
Just a vlog about shows and everything. Just talk with everyone. Who knows?
Okay.
But for now, we'll get back to some dislikes. So the aftermarket community...
Back at it again. Sorry.
The aftermarket community and tuning and everything is just not huge for the multi-air engine, the Fiat community in general. Like when I had my... Let's go back. Like when I had my Evo, I had a ton of shops locally that specialize in Evos and STIs. When I had my BMW, same thing. You know, I locally shops that specialize in BMW, Golf R, same thing, Audi and VW specialists. But now I got this car, like I'm having trouble finding local shops that could like really work on my car that I trust. Online tuning, there's not a ton. You know, the 2 main ones are Euro Compulsion and Torque. There's some other ones in other countries, those are in the US. But like local ones to go to, there really are not that many. So I wish there was a, you know, a little bit of a higher, more broad tuning community. Which again, like you said before, this is something that is not gonna be relevant to everyone. You know, you're not tuning your car, this might not matter to you. So I think that covers the dislikes for me, and I think it's time to move on to the likes.
The fun part. I just have so many things. I mean, I'm sure he has so many things that are more, you know, serious. I don't know.
It's such a pain to grab this stuff.
Okay, so my likes. So I'm gonna start with like my #1 favorite thing of the car, the front end. Like I just think the car looks super stealthy, like aggressive and sexy. I would say those would be like my 3 adjectives.
The way you
literally
worded it, I'm trying to
stealthy,
see.
aggressively, sexy.
Yeah, because like I said at the beginning when we did this, I like asked her because I wasn't planning on doing it live, and she literally said stealthy, aggressive, and sexy. Like those were the 3 words she put out when I, you know, when talking about the looks of the front end.
Yeah, just super nice. He's had a lot of cars, and out of all of them, like the appearance is just beyond like the world. It's just really sexy looking. It's a sexy car. Effing car.
We'll bleep that. Okay. It's okay. Quack.
So from a, you know, non-car person, I was not aware of, you know, the whole headlights. It's such a big deal. He made it a big deal.
And then you started to really
right.
like
so
the big
like
deal
when
to
I
you
first
too.
saw it, I'm like, oh, every car he was showing me cars, and I'm like, oh, they all look the same. Like, I love them. They all look super nice, very sexy, blah blah blah. But then he kept talking about this what was it? The visibility package. The headlights. So now that I kind of have compared cars and stuff, and he got this one, when I see another, which actually I really don't see anyone on the
yeah, we haven't seen
on the road. We
all.
don't. We're one, you know, the only one here. But in other like Instagrams or something like that, I'm like, oh, he doesn't have the visibility package. Like, it does make, like, that's another favorite thing of mine. It makes it look so much nicer from the front, considering that's like one of my, you know, top likes. So definitely the headlights. So, okay, my number 3 would be the way it drives. And I said that even before he got anything modded. Let's see exactly what I put. It's like go-karty feeling. It feels grounded. It feels good around turns. Reminds me of his
S2000.
S2000.
As far as the handling and road feel and whatnot.
So just, you know, and this again is no modifications. It was before. It feels just as great now. If, of course better, but just the way it drives is like a little go-kart. Just, you know, feels good when you're driving it. You know, there's some cars where you just feel like you're in a boat, or, you know, you don't feel in control. Like, it's just totally different, and I like that. So we did test out the convertible,
even though it's been like winter and snowing like crazy.
Yeah, on
a
like
little bit
some
we've
warmer
done it.
days
Yeah.
when it was like 40, 50 before the snow happened. And it's really nice. So the way you put it up and down, it's just
Super
so simple. Like, I mean, I haven't done it because, you know, I got my nails done, but I see him. It's just one arm, 1, 2. So that's nice. You know, there's, I feel like.
You were talking about like how it's not super windy. You know.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of likes, so I'll put that together. So yes, the fact that it's so easy to put up and down, and then so when we did have it down and we were going, you know, he, you know, floored it for a second. We were going pretty fast, and surprisingly, we had the windows up, right? Yeah.
I think the
and it
windows
just
were
the
up,
way
top
the
was down.
wind circulated, it didn't like blow my hair like crazy.
You think it would just like start tossing stuff up?
I thought that, yeah, I thought my hair would have been like, you know, it wasn't not messy, but I'm just saying,
so it
like,
circulates the wind.
it circulated
nicely.
right, you know.
For a
It
female
wasn't
with
like
long
out
hair.
of control. Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
I
it's
would
good.
still recommend putting your hair in a ponytail. Let's see. I like literally have like 10 things now. I looked at my dislikes. There's oh wow, I can't see. My dislikes, there's literally 5, and some of them are all like interior stuff, and this one's just like I have like 10 or more. So my first one was how the front end is super aggressive and stealthy looking. I love that word, stealthy. The back is more simple, I feel, but it's very sleek looking, so it's not like blah thing I said. And it's not, so like you would think the front end super aggressive, you know, I don't know, just sport.
It has more of an aggressive. The back is what, more, I guess, like elegant is a good word to put it.
Yes, so clean, elegant, but it's not like you would think that it would be like, since it is so aggressive in the front, that it would be aggressive in the back, and it would be like, I wrote down here, it's not like a type. In my car, I have a Civic. So,
yeah,
you know how like the Civic is the Type R is just
very,
super, and I mean, no hate on that car at all, but I'm just saying that it's like what is it called?
Boy racer kind of.
Yeah, boy racer.
It's
not like that. It's totally
look and feel to
opposite.
it. Like
This
Fast
car-
and Furious, so to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this
Where
car is just
yeah.
like a mature, like, you know, I feel like a super successful businessman. A super successful businessman would be driving this like to some corporate meeting. I don't know. My mind's just
That's a weird take on that, but I'll take it. Okay.
I don't know. Just like,
I don't think that's ever been said so far about the rear end of this
I
car.
would say
The
where
back of
I'm
this car
going,
looks like it should be driven by a very successful businessman to a corporate meeting.
I guess.
But the front looks like it should be driven by someone else.
I don't know.
Some aggressive man.
I guess where I was going with that is that this car looks expensive, I feel.
Yes, that's
Front
something
and back,
that a
the
lot
whole
of people
car.
say.
You look at the car, you see this car on the street, you're not going to know what it is, and you're going to think that it costs a ton of money.
We just had some little idiot kids doing like a circle around us in an SUV.
Oh. Okay.
They think they're cool.
So
see, and that's the thing. The car like literally attracts so much attention.
Mm-hmm.
It like attracts like we're in an empty parking lot and some kids just drove in with an SUV and tried to like wrap around us and not like donut style, just going around us. But yeah, it just definitely attracts like unwanted and wanted attention. It's a ton.
Mind you, we're parked at a high school, so what do we expect? Okay, so sounds really nice. So obviously this is post modifications. The overall sound is really nice. So I've been with him through some cars, several cars, from really, really, really loud and obnoxious, to his last one, which was the Golf R, which sounded really nice. He was able to control that as well. So that goes into, you know, just this overall sound, being able to control it. And then, I mean, all right, my lingo probably will suck, but like the burbles, right? I think
that's the
I
particular.
love that.
It's not like the really loud pops and bangs, which.
And
is
I would
like,
have never have known that lingo unless you told me.
But you remember
I'm
the Golf
just
R
saying.
was like almost like gunshots, like
Yeah.
really obnoxiously loud with the valves open. Where this one,
you
with
know,
the
when
valves
people like
open-
drive by and they're like obnoxiously loud, like I'm just like, ew. But like this is not. It's really not. And he had some obnoxiously loud cars, like your white BMW.
That was probably the loudest. Yeah.
Yeah, and but it was fast.
Yes, it was the loudest and the fastest.
Right. So I like this better than the Golf R with the Golf R had more like loud pops and bangs, which this does still have some.
Once in a while you hear it, which I think is like
Yeah.
the perfect. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Once in a while it just kicks in and you just kind of hear it, but most of the time it's a little more subtle. You know.
Yes. So just an overall really nice sound. So not super loud, but loud enough to make a statement. So like, you know, the way he drives. I mean, he's a good driver. You know, if he's behind someone and they're going too slow, he just gives a little rev.
That's my
and
horn.
it
I've
gets
always
the
said that.
point.
That's
yeah.
I don't
he
use the
uses
horn.
His
I just
car as his horn.
I've always done that. That's why I miss driving a manual when I had my Golf R. I was like, ugh, I have to actually hit the horn. I can't just like rev someone and be like, get out of my way or start moving at the red light.
Right. So, I mean, overall, just really nice sound. Like, I've been with him when he records some outside videos, and, you know, I just really love it. I love, you know, it's nice. And that's coming from a non-car person, and I think that's important. The color. So this was on my dislike just because of the sheen. Of course, that's because I was digging for a dislike. But so I've seen this car, and he was looking at several different colors.
Initially the white, remember?
Yes.
Which I still
the white
like,
with
but
the
I'm
black
happy
stripe.
yeah, that's what I initially wanted.
No.
She didn't
I
like
don't know. Personally, I just like the all black. We have discussed possibly wrapping it. No, like set plans. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
No, it's fine. Yeah, even before I got the car. Before, like I've said it in a different video, where like I literally had mods coming in for the car. I bought stuff for the car before I even got the car. And I already had so many plans too. Like I was thinking about wrapping it like a dark satin gray.
Yeah, matte.
Yeah,
Matte.
like,
Like
satin,
a matte
like a matte satin dark gray.
Dark gray.
Which
though.
I
Like the
think-
gunmetal.
Yeah, which I still might do. Like I got the bronze wheels, which look really good on black.
Yeah.
I think it'll still look good on like a dark
We've seen it.
gray.
Yeah,
Well,
we
we
would
haven't
look-
seen it with
Oh.
bronze wheels. I'm saying I'm gonna have to Photoshop it.
We'll see.
And see.
But
who knows? It's pricey to wrap it. That'll be maybe in the future.
long story short, I love black. And I think he does too. So
Yeah,
he was
I'm happy
someone
that I
that was
went with
interested
this.
in the white with the black stripe. However, I was never a fan of that. You know, different
Personal preference.
Yeah,
it's
personal
fine.
preference.
You know what I mean? Like I don't like red cars either. It's whatever.
Yeah.
I personally I like my black, whites, and grays. I'm more like subtle into that, not like
I didn't
super
like the
colorful.
what is it called? The heritage stripe.
Yeah, heritage stripe. Look at that, learning heritage stripe. Damn.
I learned from them.
We didn't even say that in this entire video. That's you literally just memorizing that word.
Well, you were looking at the car for years.
Yes. Yeah.
Years.
Yeah.
But yes, the color black, along with the whole, you know, stealthy look, the whole black out, I love it. Even the wheels, I love bronze. It would have looked good with like a matte black as well. But I like that you went with the bronze
to
wheels,
break it up.
To break it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think there was one last
the
thing
color,
here.
right. And then the upgrades inside. He upgraded the shift knob and the boot and anything
That's
else?
about it. You know, I put the Abarth badge on the steering
right,
wheel.
the
but
Abarth
that's
badge.
whatever.
You got a steering wheel.
I got a steering
though.
wheel, didn't like it. I got a video on that. Again, I'll link it up here. I still want to upgrade it because the factory... Did I not put that in the dislike? Maybe not. Yeah, I didn't put...
I don't know.
Either way, I guess it's like a slight dislike. Coming from a Golf R, the steering wheel felt more like sporty. It had a flat, you know, bottom D steering wheel. It was more aggressive in a sense. It wasn't just like a pure... Like, this steering wheel reminds me of like my mom's old Honda Accord. Like, there's nothing special about it. It's just very like generic, thin, nothing going on. I wanted something with a little more aggression, just a little more style and aesthetics to it. So in the future,
what was the boot and the shift knob? It was just black, right?
it was fake leather first. Yeah,
It was fake leather
and it was all
with
black.
black stitching. So
And this is
he
real
upgraded
leather with
it to real leather, red stitching, which complements. It literally matches the entire car because the entire car is stitched with red. And then he got the accent with this really nice shift knob, which I'm sure you guys heard about, and he explained. He also got the other one, which he had in another car, I believe.
Similar.
The BMW,
Yeah, it was a similar knob.
round metal.
It was like a satin color, so to say. A bead blasted, as they call it.
Yeah, the inside, the little modifications, the little things, especially, you know, when he explained the shift knob thing to me, I completely supported it. I know he got two, and I'm like, you should just pick one. But I get it because they're completely different. But that is the one thing he interacts with every time he drives.
Exactly. I'm so happy you said that because I literally tell that to people. Like,
and
you're
that's
in
why
your car,
I don't
steering
even
wheel,
remember
shift
how much
knob.
you spent on it. But like, if you are gonna spend money, I feel like it should be on a shift knob, just because that's something you drive, and the steering wheel. So like, if he decides
they're
to like
tactile
up
all the time.
Yeah.
You're driving it, you're feeling it. Like, the car can look good, but you're in here.
Yeah,
you're in the cockpit driving it, you know?
yeah.
So that's why I love doing these little mods that a lot of people overlook or
That's
just don't
like a
think
girl
about.
doing her makeup. Because you look at yourself all day. I mean, not all day.
Is that what you do? Mirror.
No. Or my tattoos, maybe. I don't know.
That kind of confused me even more.
Yeah, let's just leave that.
Because you
part
look
out.
at your tattoos. Do you feel your tattoos?
Yeah. He loves cars, and this is something that he touches every single time he drives, and it makes his whole experience different and enjoyable. So,
Yeah.
you know, a little analogy. I don't know if it worked or not. We'll see
All
when
right.
we edit the video.
So we'll go on to the likes. I almost feel like I'm not going to be able to go as long as you. I feel like you went so in depth on all this. As a non-car enthusiast, like, damn. I have a list of likes, but now I'm just like,
Well,
what do I do?
Bonnie outdid herself. So I set really high standards.
Yeah. So I'll start with the sound, which, like I said, is going to be a like and dislike. But with the exhaust on it, I think this is one of the most incredible sounding 4-cylinders. It sounds amazing. It has so much character to it. It sounds good even without the burbles tune. I think from the factory, it's got a little bit of pops here and there. But
Yeah, you're right. It did actually sound nice out, you know, what is it called? Out the gate. Out the gate.
With just the exhaust.
Just
without
the way
tune?
you bought it. Like,
Oh, you mean just...
factory, right? Is that
It
what it's
sounded
called?
good, but like it was too quiet.
sounded
I couldn't
nice.
hear it inside. But like outside, if you rev it, you could hear it. But if I'm inside driving, I couldn't hear it, and I needed that.
But I'm just saying, before you even did anything to the car, it did have a nice sound.
Yeah, for
From
me
the
that was a
beginning,
dislike.
actually.
So for her to like, for me that was a dislike.
From,
it was
you know,
too
a
quiet.
non-car person.
Compared to a normal car like the Honda Civic that you
Right,
had, it had more throatiness and it had a tone to it.
Exactly.
At least.
Another
It had
normal
something.
car like mine,
Yeah.
set, you know, quiet.
But to me, it was like I knew how good it could sound, and I'm like, why did they do this? It just didn't sound that good without the record Monza, without me personally, the Ragazzon system. Which has an entire everything, you know, downpipe, high flow cat, crosspipe, midpipe, axle back. Sounds phenomenal right now the way it is,
Yes.
especially with the burbles. So
Agreed.
yeah. So like the style, which again, she talked about front, back, and everything. Same thing. Like personally, I love this car. I was looking into this car before I bought my Golf R, which is about 2 years ago. And I bought the Golf R because I wanted power. You know, I had a supercharged M3, a stage 2 Golf R.
And that was hard for you to get the Golf R because you love driving
stick. Yeah.
So
but I test drove one and I kind of really love.
I keep wanting to say automatic. You like driving manual.
Yeah. It was
Manual,
10 years of driving manual, and then I went to the Golf R, which was it had the dual clutch, and I'm not gonna lie, it's like, you wanna go fast, you can't beat that. Like, you remember how that thing was fast, and it
fast,
shifted so
but
damn fast too.
He missed manual.
Driving. Yeah, I did. And 2 years later, I was still looking at this car.
Yes.
And that's how you know it wasn't like an impulse at the time or something. Like, oh, I
At the
like it,
beginning,
and
when
I
he
don't,
first looked
you
at
know.
it, I was like, it's not practical. Like years ago before
It was
Golf R.
easier to sell you on the Golf R because of the
Yes.
practicality of it.
Yes. But we didn't need it because I have a practical car.
Yeah. So going back to this, the style, like she said, I've always loved the front end. The rear, everything about the car, I've always fell in love with. I loved it. And going back on the visibility package, that was another huge thing to me. It was a make it or break it. It was like
It really was. Like, there were like great buys, like, you know, great deals that he could have had,
but they didn't have
the visibility package. So he was like, no.
Yeah, I couldn't.
It's not even a negotiable. Like
I fell in love with the car when they first released it, and a lot of it has to do with the visibility package and just the overall style.
And now I see that too.
Yeah.
It looks a lot nicer. They look cheap. Ow.
What, the other
ones?
ones?
They look cheap. Yeah.
Well, the headlights look cheap. Yeah, like the front, everything
like
still looks
faded
good.
white or whatever.
But
no, yeah, I mean the lights itself.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, the headlights,
cheaper.
if they're not the visibility, they look a little bit cheaper.
Or old, not cheap.
No hate. I know a lot of people have them. They're just a little more
We're
like.
gonna get hate for this.
Like, even when I had my M3, it had like the halo, and like these kind of have like that 3-part
He's
halo.
Mind you, he's very into his lights. So he did this with his Golf R as well, which looked amazing.
Oh, the lights? Oh yeah, I put
the back.
Because like America, USA, we never get the good stuff. In other countries, in Europe, they like get the really nice taillights and everything. We can't do it because our freaking laws are like, oh, your light can't be like, it needs to be lit for a certain amount of time before it does this. So I went and spent money on it because I felt like it was just like, it just looked so much better, which I'll kind of put a picture probably before and after of that as an example. And I did it with my BMW too. That was before, but it was they call it the LCI taillights, and I put those lights on there, and it looked really good. Which I'll show some of those too.
We're not hating on lights, non-visibility packages. It's just he's personally very into upgrading his lights. So
yeah,
just start off with the visibility.
Yeah. So the other thing is
package.
like the fun factor of the car. So I had an S2000, and it's one of the cars I've always regretted selling. So when this car came out, like, I loved it, and I don't know. It's just like, does it drive the same? Completely no. The power. Okay, so our GoPro just died on us. So I'm using my iPhone. The quality might not be as good. I'm just using like the forward-facing camera to kind of just finish this. Let me see the list real quick, in case I don't forget. I think I was going on fun factor. So the car is just like extremely fun to drive. It's got a ton of character. From the factory, it's not like ridiculously fast, and it's probably not going to be super, super fast. But it reminded me of my S2000 in a way. It was one of the cars that I've always regretted selling. You've heard me say that like multiple times. I've always regretted selling that. And this car, like, it just kind of reminded me of it. It felt like it a little bit. The power delivery is completely different, but it's still just such a fun car to drive. And it just kind of, I guess, filled that void of regretting that I sold my S2000. So yeah, the car being a factory turbo was also a huge like for me. I've had 2 Evos, Golf R, so I've dealt with my share of like 4-cylinder turbo cars, and I know that just with bolt-ons and a tune, you could put down a lot of power, like very noticeable power. And that's why this car really grabbed my attention more than like a Mazda Miata, for example, because I know with this I could easily extract more power out of it. And I knew I was gonna go and modify the car, so having a factory turbo was a huge benefit to me. Now I think before it cut off, like, we got some little things like the red tack. I know, super, super minor, and it's only on the Abarth, but it kind of just adds to the fun factor and just the visual appeal when you're inside driving. I love the look of that red tack. It kind of has like a more, almost like exotic Ferrari-esque, look to it visually. But going back to the headlights, forget if I touch base because it's such a big thing for us. It was a must-have when I was looking for the car. I think it just, that 3-part halo just looks amazing. And the last one I had before everything dies on us, because I don't know how much battery I have on this thing, is the headrest speakers. I actually really like these headrest speakers.
Yes.
Now, in general, the sound system is not the best in here. It does have the luxury collection, which includes the visibility package and headrest speakers and, what is it, the Bose, I think it is, sound system for a call.
Bose, yeah.
Yeah. And you get the headrest speakers. They're not like crazy good, the speakers in general, but when you're on a phone call,
Yes,
it gets really
it's
loud.
cool.
Like you could hear it really good.
Yeah.
So that's something that I really like, being able to like have those headrest speakers. So when you're on a Bluetooth call, especially with my loud exhaust, I want to be able to hear, and having it right there, it's awesome, you know? So I think that's gonna cover it. This video is definitely longer than we anticipated.
Yeah, I talk too much, sorry.
I hope you guys enjoyed this. Definitely let us know below. We'll probably do some more videos like this as well. This is like our first on-camera video, first video for you on the channel.
Yes.
So we'll leave it at that, you know? Definitely subscribe if you wanna see more content on my car, other cars, us, anything. Let us know what's up. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, I think both of us, I know for me, I, really had to dig deep on finding dislikes. So
Yeah,
this is
that's
definitely
always a
not
good
like
thing,
a
yeah.
hating video at all, because we both love the car.
Yeah.
It's just like some fun content to talk about and try to like think about like what would we have changed if we could, you know? The space, that's it.
Yeah. All right, let's go enjoy this car.
Okay.
All right. See you next time.